So I'm going to be comparing Xenonauts to the Xcom a lot because, well, it's sort of a spin-off and directly mentioned in the short of difficulty. I wasn't really expecting much from Xenonauts, specifically because it's a game quite early in early access, but game's pretty good. The premise of the game, as explained from the intro, is that aliens have been messing around, being little cheavious little scamps, doing things called humans being mean each other or something. I don't know, I was attracted by the sexiest man alive, the scientist, following in Tigan's footsteps, who is an enjoyable asshole and probably has one. What was I talking about? It has the same gameplay in terms of basically movement speed and chances to shoot, and all of that is the same. What differs and why I think is definitely a superior system of how the action points and the movement is handled. Instead of having two things you can do, or just shooting, Xenonauts uses what is called timing which allows you to do high-level tactics and strategies such as shooting and moving, or shooting multiple times in a turn. Instead of one action point being used for either like maybe one tile or max tile being the same thing, it works as one tile being like 2 time units out of 60. This system allows you to be a lot more flexible in your gameplay, and I always appreciate when a game makes sense of how something will work in like an actual proper logical way, not just well it's a game so you know it works like that. Overwatch, I like how it's handled. It isn't something you just toggle on, but it is if you have enough like units left in the turn, they'll try to shoot something if they can. You can toggle it here if maybe don't want it on for whatever reason, or maybe want your grenade launcher of Overwatch on for some reason, since by default it's off. There's also like nice little detail of having multiple fire modes, quicker aim, less accurate, and vice versa. It just gives you a little more things you could do, a little more stuff you can do in your turns. I like the little system, the ability to give a soldier whatever and not having a defined class or what they have gives you a nice level of flexibility, but really is not that many options of what like soldiers can do. The game, early access. I'm going to chalk it up to this. I would like to see just more things they can do. The soldiers also don't have any ability or special things they can get from leveling up, just attribute increases. I think it is cool that there is like a medals the soldiers can earn from certain actions or completing types of missions. I would like, instead of just giving across the board my attributes, just give like a stab stick with that medal. Or no, just something a little bit more, just a little cooler. Again, early access, so more could be added on this later in the game, but this is definitely lacking in this area. The game difficulty wise feels easier, not because it's like the Weenie Hut Junior version of XCOM, but because it feels fairer. The enemy units operate off the same rules that you do, and don't really pull off any like dumb bullshit where you want to get like dome from behind cover. It also stays consistently difficult and doesn't really have a huge spike during any point. In the beginning, it doesn't feel like your soldiers are bad by buffoons, and your equipment is decent, but I don't feel like I'm steamrolling when I get the highest level of equipment. It stays consistent, which is nice. I played for like 20 hours on Soldier, which was normal difficulty, then on Veteran, which was a hard difficulty, and I felt like a pretty good bump. Unlike I feel like Xcom being a rookie and Veteran, it's like around the same. Commander being here, and Legendary being up here. I haven't tried the hardest difficulty though, so maybe the hardest one is like that with a huge jump in difficulty, but from the two I've played, it felt pretty good. The graphics and level design could use a little bit more work, more so of a level design, but I love the look of the soldiers and the gear as well as just the base menus. The weapons look more like actual modern military gear, and the upgrade stuff looks like will be more new future or will be practically designed with this tech. I also like to see more enemy variety. For the most part, the enemies are just things that shoot you with guns and not really unique sort of threat or thing they do, except for like maybe Reapers. The UI communicates information really well, but shows things on top of how much time units you have when you go somewhere, what is affecting your aim. It has good tooltips relevant to what you're doing when it appears. The tutorial is really succinct, gave us to a point on showing what you need to know. The soundtrack, well, was not really much fun, but I thought I'd mention it has a really ominous sort of creepy sound, to like a military type drum beat. If you play Plague Inc. or the other game Rebel Inc., it kind of sounds like that. It matches the game very well and just kind of creates a nice feel to it. Overall, the base system of the game is fantastic. I say better than Xcom, but it's lacking a lot of other aspects, which still quite an early access. I think it's cost a bit much for $40 right now. Somewhere around the 20 to 25, I think would feel better. So probably catch us on sale. If you're looking for Xcom like experience with a cool art style and better balancing, Xenonauts.